Hello everyone and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on crypto and the Great Reset. So I hope you're all having a wonderful Sunday wherever you are in this great world. We're going to talk about the Great Reset. We'll talk a little bit about crypto as well. So again, no one voted them into power. World Economic Forum Chairman Klaus Schwab has urged governments to grant the World Economic Forum full governmental control over their nations as part of the Great Reset agenda for humanity. But I think they already pretty much took over our governments. You could see the way that our leaders talk all around the world. And whenever you hear the term Build Back Better, it's just another term for the Great Reset. So take a listen to the people that are talking about it.
An unprecedented opportunity. This is our chance
to really build back better.
This is our moment to change the future for the better. We can't afford to miss it because this window of opportunity won't be open for long.
We have a golden opportunity. We have a unique but rapidly shrinking window of opportunity to learn lessons and reset ourselves.
So let's use this window of opportunity and let's recreate a global framework which really is in line with the requirements of a society in the 21st century.
This pandemic has provided an opportunity for a reset.
The Great Reset.
It's now a historical moment, a crucial moment to rebuild the future.
It is imperative that we reimagine, rebuild, redesign, reinvigorate, and rebalance our world.
Building back better.
Hopefully we can just work on what we say, building back better.
Building back better out of COVID, there's huge opportunities for us.
Build back better. I like to say build back better.
We must first pass the budget resolution so that we can then pass the president's Build Back Better agenda.
My Build Back Better agenda?
We must build back better.
We're going to build it back better.
Build it back better.
Building back better.
Build back better.
Build back better.
An unprecedented.
So when you see all these people talk about building back better, what are they actually building back better? Because if you take a good look around, it looks like everything's falling apart at the same time. Reckless government spending, open borders, climate hysteria makes everything unaffordable, skyrocketing inflation, roughly 60% of Americans living paycheck to paycheck, bad public education, chaos in our cities. Do you see it yet? And you know, the other part of this is that they always like to give something a term. And we should have picked up on that term a long time ago. But most people, they were like, wow, they're going to build back better. Things are going to get so much greater. But build back better and the Great Reset leads to all of this right here. And it's happening even more on a daily basis. And I think they're fast tracking it now more than ever. Cloward Piven. A political strategy to overload the American public welfare system to the point it creates a crisis and bankrupts the nation, leaving the country with no choice but to adopt a socialist communist agenda. And UBI is going to be what comes out of the crash system. And a lot of people will hail that universal basic monthly income. They figure, well, I could just stay home. I don't have to go to a job every day. But then all of a sudden they realize that they can't save any money because it expires. And maybe if they buy certain things, they can no longer buy those things. That's where we're headed. And yet people still want to deny the fact of it. And once it gets here, it's going to be too late. We are headed towards a cashless society. But this is actually funny. So this man claims that Mexico is now paying for the border wall, because they know the USA is finished. Take a listen to this.
Trump's in jail. You can quit building the wall.
Mexico is paid to build a wall. Did you hear about that? You know why?
Why is that?
Okay, so whoever's over here, they're going to try to go back.
You're going to try to go back?
To Mexico. Getting ready for a collapse. You know, in the dollar. So they thinking that a lot of people's going to start
Trying to go back?
Yeah, so now Mexico wants to hold everybody back.
So Mexico wants to keep everyone inside the United States, and Mexico seems to believe that the US dollar is finished at the same time. And I think they're probably right, because we're rushing to the bottom. We're rushing in to the Great Reset. So the Fourth Industrial Revolution, and most of you probably heard that term, but this is also part of the Great Reset. So we had Industry 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, and now we're living in 4.0. And a lot of people made money off the previous industrial revolutions. And our chances right now by investing in cryptocurrency, you know, XRP, XLM, XDC, these ISO cryptocurrencies. It's our one shot to get rich. And even because I know what's coming, doesn't mean I'm going to sell my XRP, because I think our lives could be maybe different if we have money in the future. I mean, who knows what's going to happen? But I also think that crypto opened up our eyes to what's really going on. I talk to people outside of crypto and they have no clue. Mainstream media news is not talking about this at all. And when you get into crypto and if you start researching crypto, you are led into this path. You will, if you invest in XRP and you start deep diving, before you know it, you will learn about the Great Reset. You will begin to learn about the BRICS, because the real world and the crypto world are colliding like never before. So the world needed a big event to change paradigms, and unlike 2020 being the year of the pandemic, it was the moment of the key turning point where the Fourth Industrial Revolution started. And it didn't start there. It actually started back in like 2011. And one of the main focuses of the Fourth Industrial Revolution is payments. That's why I said they need money to go digital, because we're in the digital age. Money's going to go digital. We're going to have trade going digital. And when you make transactions, that are going to be digital transactions as well. That's why I said crypto plays a big part of the Great Reset. So the difference of this Fourth Industrial Revolution, it doesn't change what you are doing. It changes you. If you take genetic editing, just as an example, it's you who are changing. Take a listen to what Klaus says here.
The difference of this fourth industrial revolution is it doesn't change what you are doing. It changes you. If you take genetic editing, right. Just as an example, it's you who are changing.
So what they want to do is they want to merge us with machines. They want us to live with a neuro plant in our head where they could control our thoughts. And everybody always wondered, well, how, if I don't own anything, how could I possibly be happy? Because they control your thoughts. You'll be happy and not even know why you're happy. That's also a dream of the World Economic Forum. So the World Economic Forum, Fourth Industrial Revolution, a mad and murderous plan. Now, this is what they want to change between 2020 and 2029. Road vehicles, development of petrol, diesel engines, and any new vehicle introduced from now on must be compatible with absolute zero. 2030 to 2049, all new vehicles, electric, average size of cars reduced to 1,000 kilograms. Rail, they're going to grow and expand networks and all electric trains. Rails become dominant mode for freight and shipping declines. All remaining airports close after 2030. All shipping declines to zero. Program to provide all interior heat with heat pumps and energy retrofits for all buildings. They're actually already starting to go in that direction with new construction. Electrification of all appliances and reduction in size to cut power requirement. Remember, they were coming for your gas stove recently. Food, beef and lamb phased out, along with all imports not transported by train. Fertilizer use greatly reduced. Mining materials, iron ore and limestone phased out, while metal scrap supply chain expands greatly and develops with very high precision sorting. cement, and new steel phased out along with emitting plastic. Steel recycling grows. Aluminum, paper reduced with energy supply. All conventional mortar and concrete phased out. All steel recycled. Most goods made with 50% as much material. Many now used for twice as long. Fourfold increase in renewable generation from 2020. All non-electric motors and heaters phased out. Fossil fuels completely phased out. That's the future they plan for us. And you know, as we get there, you could see this transition happening right now by laws that they pass along the way. If the World Economic Forum took total control of every government around the world, this would happen much quicker. That's why it's so important to stay awake and vote for the people who are fighting back against this at the same time. But you see the direction they want to push us, then this will come along with it. So a cashless society means zero cash. Every penny you receive will be recorded. Every transaction will be traced. And a lot of people say this is never going to come about, but yet we're already transitioning in this direction. They're closing banks all around the world right now. And if the banks aren't closing, they're collapsing and getting consolidated into much bigger banks at the same time. Yet people can't see what's actually coming. This is all part of the plan as well. And you know, I make these videos to wake you up before it's too late, so you could see it coming before it happens, so you can prepare for it. Then there was this WorldCoin, and I think WorldCoin was a test to see how many people would actually show up for a digital ID if they were promised some type of reward. And that reward could be very small, yet people will jump on board for it, which is mind-blowing. And you know, this is why I can see us heading into a cashless society, because people will want it as long as they're guaranteed basic income. Then there's the chip. And when they started talking about putting the chip under your skin, and I said, I'm never getting this chip. Well, some of you have convinced me to read the book of Revelations in the Bible. And this is right on track with that. And that's the reason I'm never going to take it. I don't care. If I have to get rid of all my crypto, so be it. And if I have to learn to live off the grid, whatever, I don't care. Because this is not for me. And it should not be for anyone else either. And even Joe Rogan actually had someone on his podcast that talked about this. He wants to know how long until we're a cashless society. The guest says, this is where I get scared because it's too similar to the mark of the beast from Revelation. And I think he's 100% on track because you could see how the World Economic Forum says, if you want food or water in the future, you will have no choice but to get the CBDC. And hopefully this never comes about. That's what I'm really hoping for. I'm hoping somehow, some way, the World Economic Forum gets crushed out for some reason by somebody else. And maybe the U.S. gets back on track, America first, close up our borders, and start fixing our cities. And, you know, a 15-minute city is another thing that they're going to push you into in the future. And here in the U.S., people will be like, that's never going to happen. It's already happening. Little by little, they're already designing them around you. And before you know it, when you go to leave the town or leave the city, all of a sudden you realize you can't go anywhere. So, like I said, I just wanted to wake you all up to what's really going on. And there's even more to this, but I wanted to leave it at this point because some people say your videos, they depress me. I'm not trying to depress anyone. I'm trying to wake you up. I'm trying to keep you awake to everything around you. You're a crypto investor. You should know everything about the crypto that you invest in. With that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.